Oh, is it? Oh, are you? Okay, yeah, there we go. See, another awkward beginning. All right. So today we're going to talk about the last little snippets of math that I have left to give you. And there's three topics. So the first one we're going to talk about is parallel and perpendicular. We're going to slide in horizontal and vertical lines here, and then we're going to talk about direct variation. These are the last little questions. There's one or two of them. You might see them, and so since you might see them, I don't want to skip them, okay? But they won't take very long. They're easy. So for parallel, perpendicular, and direct variation. So for parallel and perpendicular, our strategy is we're going to start by looking at the problem and deciding, are you serious? What are you doing? Okay, sorry, it just went boop and freaked me out. Okay, we're going to look, is it SS, which means same slope, or is it RO, which means reciprocal opposite? It's still, okay, wow. Wow. Who knows what's happening? Honestly, it could be chippy choppy right now. Yeah, I totally started Zoom. I started everything. I'm sorry you're having to hear this class from minutia, as I'm literally looking at the hover cam and talking to it, but whatever. Okay, so we're going to figure out if it's parallel or perpendicular. That just happened. If it's parallel, it's going to have the same slope. If it's perpendicular, it's going to be reciprocal opposite. We're going to write our new slope. We're going to write it down, even though, even if it's the same slope, we're going to write it down, and we're going to use that to eliminate answer choices. Then we're going to stick whatever last two answer choices we have into y equals or last however many, and look for that point in the table. Okay, so let's take a look at one of these problems. Okay, so this is the first one that we see. It says, what is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the point 5, 0? So that seems like it might matter. And is parallel to the line represented by 1.2x plus 3.8. So parallel means what? Means same slope. So I'm literally going to write down the slope. It's 1.2. I'm writing it down because I want to make sure that I know what I'm looking for. And then I can eliminate B and D. And you can usually eliminate two choices right away. Okay? Now, it says it needs to go through the point 5, 0. So I'm now going to go into my calculator. What? I'm going to go into my calculator, and I'm going to enter this equation. So I'm going to do 1.2x. Nope, that's not it. None of that is it. No. 1.2x minus 6. And then I'm going to look at the table. Now, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the point 5, 0. So I'm going to go to 5. And this one does go through 5, 0. But I'm still going to check the other one because, it's not like it's that hard. And this one is 511. And that's not what I want. So this has got to be the one. Okay? What do we think about that? Easy? Okay. I want you all to try the next one. Now, the next one's a little trickier because it says, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, it says crosses the x-axis at 36. And it's perpendicular, okay? So, I'm going to let y'all try this one, but what does crosses the x-axis at 36 mean? It's a 0. So it's an x-intercept. So what is that going to look like? What's the ordered pair going to look like? 36, 0. There we go. I want y'all to take a minute and try that one. Oh, you are? Okay. Check in with her at lunch, okay? Okay. While y'all work on that, I'm going to work on it too, and we're going to see where that gets us. Oh, no, I don't have time for that. Okay, and now let's try the other one, 9/4 x minus 81. Now, I had some people in fourth period. They saw that this one was wrong, and then they just immediately circled D. Just check it. Why are you like that? Just check it, because what if they're both wrong? Then you've done something horribly wrong, and you need to figure it out, okay? So just make sure you check it. Now, notice also, remember, reciprocal, opposite. That means reciprocal means the fraction flips. and opposite means sign flips. Okay? So I flipped the fraction, and then even though, hey, focus up. When I flipped the sign, I wrote positive because I want to make sure that when I write it down, I'm making sure that I actually am checking it. So if I'm always writing down, I'm always going to be checking it. What do you guys think? You guys think this is doable? Okay, great. So let's talk about the next thing. There is one more parallel and perpendicular question, but I mean, I'm not going to worry about that one. And you can see what it looks like. It looks the same as everything else. Okay, so let's talk about the other one, which is horizontal and vertical lines. How do I remember a horizontal line? Okay. Okay, what word do I use? What made-up word do I use? Hoi. Yeah. So H stands for horizontal. O stands for 0 slope, which I know it's a stretch, but go with me. All right. And Y means I'm going to have a Y equals something equation. Okay, what about vertical? What am I going to use for vertical? Vux. V stands for vertical. U stands for undefined, and it stands for up and down. Okay. So it stands for undefined and up and down. So if you see a line and it's going up and down, it's undefined. They both have UD in them. And I'm going to have an x equals something equation for those. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, the skills, I'm always talking about the skills you have to know. They consider parallel and perpendicular and horizontal and vertical. They're in the same skill, which is really weird. So, So let's take a look right here at this one here that says 32. Okay. So first of all, it says, what are the equation and slope of the line shown on the grid? So what kind of line is that? It's a vux because it goes up and down, right? Where does it cross? Yeah, oh, it does. Where does it cross? It crosses at x, on the x-axis at 6. Well, first of all, I already know J is the answer because it's the only one that says undefined. But if there was any doubt, so like what if they said this one, y equals 6, slope is undefined? Like what if they did that to me? Well, it crosses at x equals 6. Since it crosses there, that's the equation. So like these two were out because of that, and then everything else was out because everything else was wrong, but whatever. Okay? And then try this one down here. What's the equation of a line that passes through -2, 7 and has a slope of 0? And again, once you decide what kind of line it is, that might help you cancel out some answer choices. Cancel out, eliminate, whatever. I'm a math teacher. We good on this? What do we think? Okay, I think this is pretty easy too. Okay, so you're probably going to see parallel and perpendicular or horizontal and vertical. I wouldn't expect you to see both, but it's possible. But either way, like I'd love to see both because they're easy, right? They're not hard. Okay. So the next thing that I want to talk about is direct variation, and they do ask about. I'm pretty sure they ask about direct variation every year. Okay, now I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that Y weird symbol X. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. I found this graphic. I found this on the Googles, and it looked good, so I put it up there, but I don't know what that means. Okay. So here's our strategy for direct variation. And, it's pretty simple and straightforward, but, hopefully it works for you. So step 1, we're going to find our unit rate. Okay. So that means how much for 1? Actually, it specifically means how much for 1x. How would I do that? How would I find out how much 1x was? Like if I knew that, I don't know. You know what? I'll do a problem. That's okay. Step 2, we're going to write an equation. And then step 3, we're going to plug it in and compare. Okay? So we find the unit rate, we write an equation, we plug in and compare. When they say direct variation, when they say varies directly, that makes the equation even easier because literally it doesn't have a b. So all we got to do is find the slope, y equals mx, or y equals kx in this case. Okay? Okay, so let's take a look at this first problem. It says the total distance in centimeters a toy robot moves varies directly with the time in seconds. The toy robot moves a total distance of 264 centimeters in 11 seconds. What's the time in seconds the toy robot moves when the total distance is 408 centimeters? Okay, so here's some important numbers. But here's what I see right there. It goes 264 centimeters in 11 seconds. So 264 centimeters in 11 seconds. So what do I do with those two numbers to find the unit rate? I divide them, right? So I take 264 divided by 11. And I get 24. Well, look, there's an answer that says 24, right? What do I do with it? I cross it off because that ain't what they asked me. They didn't ask me for the unit rate. They asked me 408 centimeters. If I have not used that 408 centimeters yet, I got to at least consider it before I do anything with it. So there's a couple things I could do right now. What I told y'all to do is write an equation. So y equals 24x. And you can stick it in your calculator. Can anybody think of something else I could do?
We can multiply 24.
No, don't do that. Yeah, okay, let's just do the table. Yeah, you could divide 408 by... And honestly, if you did multiply, there wouldn't be an answer. Okay. All right, so I put it in 24. I put in y equals 24x, and I'm looking for 408. And hold on, where we go? There we are. And I found it when x equals 17. And so I circle 17. I'm not crossing off 13 and 37 because I don't know why. I don't know what's up with those. Okay. Okay. Now what about number 10 here? It says the value of y varies directly with x. I'm sorry. If x is 3, then y is 21. What's the value of x when y is 105? Okay, so they say if x is 3, right, I'm trying to find how much for 1x. So that's 3 x's. I only want 1, so what do I have to do? I take 21 and divide it by 3, and I get 7. So what do I do? I cross off 7, because that's not what they want. Okay? Now, y equals 7x. Well, I'm trying to find a y value of 105, so I just stick that in my calculator. What am I looking for? 105? And I got 15. Is this hard? No, this is really easy. Okay, we can totally do this. You got a question? Okay. Now, I will point out to you that 3 times they've asked about this as a bubble grid. Okay? And, well, actually, I'm sorry, 2 times, because for whatever reason I put the same question twice. Whatever. Okay? Let's take a look at this one up here, just so we can try one with the bubble grid. Okay? It's set. And because they don't have any answer choices, we got to really make sure we don't, go too soon. Voltage across the resistor is directly proportional to the current running through the resistor. Okay. Okay, so let me tell you something that you can do. Hang on, I want to show you something really quick. When did we do functions? Yeah, I know you don't understand it, but hold on, I'm going to show you something. Hold on. Oh my God. Yeah, as you can see, my notes are pretty insane right now. But hold on, we did functions in this book. No, we didn't. When did we do functions? No, we did them in here, didn't we? Okay, yeah, right here, we did functions. Okay, you notice y is a function of x. Y is a function of x. Y is a function of x. So let me tell you something. Remember how I tell you sometimes problems earlier will give you a clue about what to do? Y varies directly with x. So if you know that y is a function of x, so if you see a function problem, it can help you answer this one. Because what it goes is y is proportional to x. So if you're not sure which one's the y and which one's the x, looking at a previous problem about functions can help you figure out what order they go in. So I need voltage and current. I don't even know what any of this stuff is, right? Because I'm not an electrical engineer. But it says 480 volts and a current of 12 amps. Well, guess what I can do now? That's a y and an x. 480 divided by 12, which I did wrong earlier and got a mark for it. And I get 40. Is that my answer? No, because I need 40x. Now, what is 1.5? Is that the x or the y? The x, right? Because it's current is x. So I can just do 40 times 1.5. Oh, no, not plus. And I get 60. And that's the answer. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is, for this problem, like, honestly, when I look at that, I'm like, what? Why are you asking me this question? And there's a lot of people that say that that's kind of a problem with the STAR test, because the STAR test asks you questions that, like, culturally you may not know about. But sometimes you gotta kind of figure it out. Like, one year when I did STAR review, we literally made a whole bunch of problems like this. But we replaced all the important words with, like, nonsense words. Like, in electrical circuit, the dingle hopper across the doodlehickey is directly proportional. You know, like, we literally just made garbage words because the words don't matter, but y'all will get hung up on the words. How many of you freaked out when you saw this just because of all the words? Again, because I'm not an electrical engineer. That's what I did. Okay? All right, y'all. So that's the last little tidbit of knowledge I have to impart to you. So, good luck.